First normal form requires that values in each cell are atomic, and that tables have no repeating groups. This means that each field in each table has only one value in it, and that there are no columns representing repeated kinds of data for each row. First normal form is often extended to include the idea that there aren't duplicate rows in a table. This also suggests that the order of rows and columns is not important to a data. The primary tables we are using already satisfy the first normal form. But let's take a look at ways we might have built these tables that don't satisfy it. In this first example, we have extended the customers table with 3 columns for favored dishes. But these are repeating groups, and this violates the first normal form. Another approach might have been to put all keys for dishes in a list in one cell. This is a repeating group, and so it violates first normal form as well. Remember, first normal form requires us to have one and only one value in each cell. To resolve this problem, we would remove the repeating groups either from a list in one cell or from multiple columns and create another table that satisfies first normal form to hold the values. Then, we would link tables with a relationship between their keys. That's how I designed this database from the start though. Violations of first normal form are pretty easy to spot earlier on in the design process. Whenever you find yourself putting multiple values in a cell, or creating columns that end with numbers like favorite dish 1, favorite dish 2, and so on. That's a big red flag that indicates you will need to change design. We still have a little bit of a problem though. Our orders dishes linking table will have repeating groups. One customer might have ordered more than one of the same dish in an order, so we would have 2 or more rows with the same order ID and dish ID. These are repeating duplicate rows, and to fix that, we can add a unique value for each row to this table as well. This would act as a primary key, and while we are not using it right now, doing this makes the linking table satisfy first normal form. We will go through and add a value like this to other linking tables as well. So far, our database is designed in such a way that actual sequence of rows in the tables doesn't matter. Our orders table has a datetime field, which is the unique value that can determine the chronological sequence of the orders, so it doesn't matter how the orders themselves are organized in the table. The sequence in which rows or columns appear should never matter in a table. If you find that relying on the sequence of rows or columns, that's another red flag. If the sequence in which records were entered is important, you will want to use an auto-incrementing unique value or timestamp to indicate that instead. When we query data, we might not always get it back in the order in which it appears in the visual representation of the table. First normal form is the starting point of getting our database optimized.